In the isosceles triangle ABC above, so you've already drawn it.
Yeah.
AB congruent to AC. Okay, just making sure you've got that down. It says that the measure of angle A is 22 degrees. Measure of angle B is 9x plus 16. Is angle C 22 degrees, or is it 9x plus 16?
It's 9x plus 16.
Yeah, and I would tell you to actually to draw it in that
Okay.
way.
Okay.
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 All right. So the next thing here is that the sum of the interior angles in a triangle. What do the three angles in a triangle add up to?
180.
180. So that means 9x plus 16 plus 9x plus 16 plus 22 equals 180.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a multi-step equation. You have to first combine like terms. What is 9x plus 9x?
Sorry, 9x plus 9x is 18x.
Okay. And then we got plus 16 plus 16 plus 22. What does that add up to?
That adds up to 16, 54. So 18x plus 54 equals 180.
Mhm.
Okay.
Remember how to solve this two-step equation.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
So,
right, will you solve that for, yeah, will you solve it for X?
yeah. So, wait, hold on. I don't think it's 180 minus 54, 126. And then would you do 8 divided by 126?
Isn't it 18?
Oh, 18, sorry. Little mistake, yeah.
Yes, it's the number in front of X, and it should work out nicely
I
most of the
did
time.
8 on accident.
Okay.
6 divided by 18. Okay, 7. So x equals 7.
Now, you'll notice it does not ask you to, well, it does ask you, sorry, it does ask you to solve for X, but that's like part A.
Mm-hmm.
Part B is to find the measure of angle C,
And you plug
which,
7 back in for the x, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So measure of angle C is 9x plus 16. Go ahead and calculate that for us, please.
plus 16. And it's 9 times 7 plus 16, right?
Exactly. You got it.
Okay, so 79 are the two corners, right? Or, yeah, yeah.
Right. So the other kind of check here is to just draw the triangle again. Let me do a different color. If you draw the triangle and you label those with the numbers now and see like, does it actually work?
Yeah,
Like, does this actually add up to 180?
yeah, yeah,
And believe it does.
yeah.
Good job.
Cool.
All right, let's flip over to the back side now. And we'll look at a letter. We'll look at 5 first because it's more like this one with the angle measures.
Okay, got it.
And then we'll talk about number 4. All right. So forget about what it's asking for a moment. Just like sometimes you just got to go in and you got to like find all the missing angles and stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of triangle is this here?
That's an isosceles triangle.
Yeah, and sometimes it's better. Like I can't do it, but you can. You can rotate your paper, and
Yeah.
it's sometimes just better to look at it like this. If you don't know the base angles, you just call them X and X.
Okay. All right.
And so that that we'll get those back into the drawing over here. But You know that the three angles add up to what in an isosceles triangle or any triangle? What do the angle measures add up to?
180.
180. So this time I want you to solve for x. This is 2x plus 35 equals 180. It is
So
a decimal.
how do you get the 2x from the two x's on each side?
There's 1x plus 1x.
Yeah, so you make it 1x when there's not a number.
If that, yes, to help you, to help me, when I first learned this, you have to like put a number there to make it so that you're like, all right, I'm adding the ones. You're really adding the ones, not the x's.
Okay, got it. And if they don't give you like a number set there, then you just assume that.
Yes, reasonable, reasonable
Oh,
to do that. Yeah.
yeah.
It is a decimal, so that's okay.
Okay. So I got 72.5. Is
And
that
that's
correct?
not what it's asking for, but it's good to find all the angles
Okay. So
as
those are the
long as
two.
you got enough time. Yeah. Now let's go back to what it's actually asking for. OLE. OLE is right here. I'm gonna call it. I'm not gonna call it Y for the moment. Is Y part of the triangle?
It's not, or is it?
It's
It is?
not. But it is
No.
part of the straight line here.
Yeah, but it's not a part of the triangle.
That's right. But it's part of what's called a linear pair.
Yeah.
So Y and 72.5 degrees make up a linear pair. What does a linear pair add up to?
180.
180. So you can write an equation now. You can write Y plus 72.5 equals 180. That's why you have to know your definitions, or you have to know that it's 180 if you don't remember that it's a linear pair, one
Yeah.
or the other, just
Okay.
or one produces the other. So go ahead and solve this for Y, please.
Okay.
And again, it is a decimal,
And
but
the
that's okay.
basic steps again, like basic,
Well, you've got a one in front of Y. Like Y is almost solved for. You have to
yeah.
undo addition and subtraction.
Yeah. Okay. So my final answer is y equals 107.5.
That's the angle measure that they're looking for. O to L to E.
Got it. Okay.
All right. Let's go to question 5, 4, not 5. We
Okay.
just did 4. So you really carefully, like sometimes they're asking about the angle, sometimes they're asking about the sides, sometimes they're asking about both.
Yeah.
This one is asking about both. Like again, like sometimes you just go to the picture and you start like you do something. You just take a step. What kind of triangle is this? What's the name for this triangle?
Isosceles triangle.
Yes. So is 68 degrees congruent to angle Q or angle F?
S.
Yeah, so why not write that in there? And then I'm going to call angle Q, I'll just call it Q. Could you write an equation to solve for Q? We did
Yeah.
something like this in the previous problem, very
Yeah.
similar.
Um, would that be y plus
Not,
31?
nothing to do with Y, nothing to do with Y,
Oh,
just Q, just the angles. What do you know about the three angles in a triangle?
they equal 180.
They add up to 180, add
Yeah.
up to. So write something where you're adding up the three angles and you get to 180.
Mm. Okay. Would it be 44?
That sounds pretty good. All right. So notice that the problem actually asks you to find the measure of angle Q. So you've
Yeah.
already done part of that.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. Now I'm just going to reset the problem picture wise here. 'Cause sometimes it's like you got stuff going on with sides and angles. You don't want to mix the two.
Yeah.
Is side QS, is it Y or is it Y plus 31?
Side QS. That's Y
QS,
plus
yeah.
31.
And you might label it like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So the perimeter in words is if you walk all the way around.
Yeah.
You go all the way around. And in this problem, it's Y plus 31 plus Y plus 31. And I'm just showing it in parentheses to illustrate that that's the
And
side.
you wouldn't put in 68 equals 180 or
68's an angle. It's nothing to do with it. Like, so
oh to
when,
find the
when,
perimeter then. Okay.
when you're working on these problems, you have to decide, am I looking at the angles or am I looking at the sides?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Now they actually give you the value of the perimeter, which is 344. That's given in the problem.
Okay.
You don't need the parentheses. That's just for illustrating that there's three sides.
Yeah.
You asked me about this earlier, and I think it's a good idea to put a one in front of all of the variables
Oh,
if
yeah.
there's nothing written there.
Okay.
So first thing to do on the right side is to combine like terms.
Yeah. So would you
So
add all the y's together? 3y
yes,
plus is that a third negative 13 or is that just a mistype?
I see.
Oh, wait.
I think you're
Oh,
transposing the digits, but
okay.
yeah, plus 31
Yeah. Okay. So it'd be what 3y plus
plus
62.
good.
Okay. Equals 344. And then you just solve from there.
Yes,
62.
go ahead and solve that for y, please.
2, 344. Oh, and is this a decimal or no?
I don't know.
Okay.
Let
I
me
haven't.
check here. I didn't solve it yet. I was
Oh
waiting
no,
for
it's not.
you.
Okay, I have y equals 94.
That is also what I have.
Cool.
Okay, so that's really good, but that may not be the only thing they asked for. And I think it is in this problem. Like they just want the value of. I actually don't have it in there. Go back and look. They want the length of QR.
Yeah.
QR is Y plus 31. So you should notice that you're not always done when you find the variable.
Yeah. Wait, do I need to solve that or
Yeah, you got to put 94 in for Y because that's
yeah,
what it's really asking. Like this
yeah.
is incomplete. You're not done. You maybe feel done, but there's more to
So
do.
94 plus 31.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is shoot, so 125 is y.
And
And
then not Y, QR. QR is 125. And last thing is units. They just sort of come in every once in a while, but whenever it's a length, units are really, really critical.
got it.
Any questions, thoughts on that before we move on to six?
No, nope.
Okay. What do you think the teacher is trying to suggest with the F's and the R, the statement and the reason next to the
So
drawing?
because we're having a quiz on this in 2 days and Friday. So the main reason is like it's just like you can just put you can put numbers there and kind of guess, but they want to like the students like show the reasoning behind that, how they got it. So like if it's like a like what do you
Exactly. That you
call
said that really well, that's what I was gonna say if you weren't sure. The
it? Yeah,
number isn't that important. Like I'll give you the number. M
yeah.
is 30.
It's how you know where it goes.
Right.
Like if you
Right.
know it's like alternate, whatever, exterior or whatever.
So this doesn't have any parallel lines, so that none of that will apply, but this is referring more to the triangles.
Yeah.
So what do you know about, and sometimes it's there's so much going on. If you could just focus on this up here, why is M 30? How did I come up with that? Give me some words. Like you don't have to give me like the triangle, some conjecture. Like I don't care about that. I want the words. Like what is,
Why does M equal 30?
yeah, yeah.
Well, because it's 60 degrees, it's showing you on one of the angles. And then you know that's 90 on the left. And the only thing that would make it 180 is 30. And that's a triangle. So
That's the last part. The sum of the angles is 180,
yeah,
something like that.
yeah,
Okay. All right. Now the next thing is N. This one's a little bit harder, but N is 50.
yeah.
N is 50, and that's over there kind of on the left. It's related to this triangle here. Why do you think N is 50?
N is 50 because that is I really forgot the word of it. I completely know what it is, but it's a vertical angle. It's a vertical angle and 40 is there, and then it says it's a 90 degree and 40 plus 90, and then you plus 50 is 180. So that's the thing of the triangle. And since those are both vertical angles, that one has to also be 50.
Good, really good. So if
Okay.
you're wondering why I started with M and then N, you tend to go in alphabetical order on these things. Like not always, but a lot of the times.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean you have to. Like you may say, oh, I see something else there, but that's generally the order here. So P would be next. P is right there.
Yeah.
Do you see anything that would make it possible to find P? And it does have to do with the triangle that's here. It does have to do with that triangle there.
Okay. Let's see.
So this is
hmm,
where I would recommend kind of drawing off just that part of it.
okay.
And then you found M up here. M was 30. So this is also 30.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
so removing like some extra lines could be useful here because there's a lot of distractions.
hmm. Okay. Yeah, I see.
Like could you find this angle where my cursor is?
Which is that would be the one next to 112 on the
Yes.
graph.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Um, since are those are vertical angles, right?
They're not vertical. This is a
Or
linear pair.
they're
Linear
linear
pair.
pairs. Okay. Um, would that be 60? Because it's
It has
they're
nothing to do with
linear.
the 30. It has to do with this 112.
Oh, ooh, I'm not very sure on that one.
So let's go back and look. What did we use linear pair for in a previous problem?
Add up to
What did
one
add up to 180? So 112 plus this angle adds up to,
180.
okay, so could you solve for that? I heard 60. I didn't hear that's not the right answer, but
No, no, yeah, okay. Mm, 68.
68, so that's 68.
And then that was
Then how do you
30.
find this other angle?
And then you could just do 68 plus 30 minus 180 to find it.
Okay, so do that.
Okay. Plus 30 minus 180. So 82.
Okay. So now
Yep.
angle P is 82.
Yeah.
You could say vertical angles, but you did a lot of other stuff to lead up to that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, it's like, how much do you need to emphasize? So it's a tough one. I don't know. Some words there would be important though, to say.
Yeah.
So I'm just reframing the picture here. To find Q, we're looking at this triangle right here. And we know that P, we just found P. P is 82 degrees. What is this angle here in the lower right?
That that's are those vertical angles again too, or no? Or linear?
Anytime they meet at an X, they are vertical angles.
Yeah. Okay, so that would be 70 degrees also, and then you do 82 plus 70 minus 180, which is 70, 32, uh 28. So Q would be 28.
Okay,
Is that
sounds
correct?
good. Yep.
Okay.
All right. So again, like, what do you put there? Well, it's the triangle sum, but you did use vertical angles, use the previous answer, and something like that. All
Yeah.
right. So the next one here is angle R. Angle R is really this angle right here.
Yeah.
And we know that one of the other angles is 70, which means if we knew this other angle, we could then find it,
Yeah.
which we don't know. So we're sort of stuck, meaning like they either should have given you something down here, or it's not always true that you go in order.
Yeah.
That's okay. The thing that becomes challenging though is you got to see things that maybe aren't all that obvious. Like here is a triangle.
Yeah.
See that one in green there?
Yeah.
And you actually know angle N from before, that's 50.
Hmm.
Angle N is 50. The blue one is the one that we're trying to find. So do you know this angle over here with P? Yeah, you actually do. Because
82.
well, P is 82, but the it's like 82 plus 98 gets you to 180
Yeah.
because it's a linear pair.
Yeah.
So that one's a little bit harder to do. And then you got to add these up and and subtract from 180.
50 and 98 subtracts about 180. 50 plus 98 minus 1. So 32 would be uh R, or the other angle. Well, it would be both. It would be R, or
Sorry.
it would be
Yeah, it ends up
32.
being R.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be 32.
S is the same as this angle here, so you can find that from the smaller triangle where that's 70 and 32. You can find S, and you can similarly do something to find B, but I'll leave you to think about that for the rest of maybe try working that out on your own if
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah.
But pretty tough because you got to see triangles that aren't there. You got to remove lines. You got to subtract lines. It's not all that easy. Good question though. All right, we're going to stop.